Hi, my name is Melissa Eder, and I'm one of the librarians at Amarillo College. In this video, I'll walk you through a search using the database Agricola, which is probably the best starting point for you with topics in horticulture agronomy. Our databases work best with the web browsers Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. You can use others, but I highly recommend downloading one or both of these free browsers, Firefox and Chrome, because they're much more reliable with not only our databases, but also with Blackboard. To access our databases, I like to go directly to Blackboard. So in the address bar of my web browser, I'll type in actx.blackboard.com and then log in like normal using my usual AC username and password. In Blackboard, there will always be a tab in the top menu for the library. After I click it, I'm now on our databases page. For horticulture agronomy, you'll need to get into our subject-specific grouping of databases for science and technology, which you'll see in the far right column. On that page, you'll need to scroll down a bit until you see Agricola. Click it, and then you'll be prompted to log in with your AC username and password. If you see this security warning message, just click on Continue. Before we start typing in search words, first, I like to program in the date. Unless your instructor specifically tells you how far back you're allowed to go, in college, the general rule of thumb is no older than 5 years. I'm making this video in 2020, so in this first year box, I'll type 2015. This database is from a company called EBSCO, and the programming is smart, so I don't have to plug in the month or the current month and year. Just make sure that you're placing the oldest year in this first box for year. For most of your research assignments, you'll likely also want to limit your search results to academic journals. These are more trustworthy sources and are often peer-reviewed. In fact, if you've been instructed to use the Agricola database and to obtain peer-reviewed articles, as long as you select journal articles, your results will meet your instructor's requirements. So select Journal Article here under Publication Type. Okay, now we can start thinking of search words to put in the boxes at the top of the page. Let's say I want to research the following question. How are GMOs used to combat drought? Library databases are not programmed like Siri, Alexa, or Google Assist. Only type in the most important words. I will not include the words how, are, used, or to. I'll get rid of the question mark, and I probably don't even need to include the word combat. That's an unusual word anyway, and I don't think the database will use it. The most important words are GMOs and drought. These are actually two different concepts, both related to my research question, but still separate subjects. I'll put a single concept in a single search box. So GMO goes in the top box and drought in the second. Next, think about what are the other words authors might have used about your topic. GMO is an acronym standing for genetically modified organisms. Articles containing that specific phrase are exactly what I want. I want articles that either have GMO, or that have genetically modified organisms, or that have both of those terms. I want all of that. In the GMO box, I'll place an OR right after GMO. OR is a command word telling the database that we want articles containing either or both of the search terms, either or. I capitalize command words because some databases don't understand that you don't want it to literally search for every time an author used the word or in their writing. It would crash the system if you do that. After that command word, I'll think of all of the synonyms for GMO, in this case, the full phrase. By phrase, I just mean that I'm using more than a single word as a search term. Anytime you do that, surround your phrase with quotation marks. That tells the system that you want these exact words in this exact order all together. This way, I won't get all of the articles talking about genetics in general, which is a huge field. I'll specifically get genetically modified organisms. As I type in the search boxes, have you noticed the drop-down menus? I use these all the time to get ideas for synonyms and other searches, but I don't usually click on them. These are frequent searches, not necessarily good ones. I've seen misspelled words. Also, they don't include the tricks like using quotation marks. You can click on them, but make sure everything is spelled correctly and add in those quotes when needed. When I hit search, I get just a few results, but this is actually great because hopefully I can use all of these articles and don't need to waste my time reading through a zillion article titles to find something that's usable. A lot of the time, people start with too broad a topic, such as just typing in GMO. This result list has way too many for you to read through, and a lot of this will not be useful. If you ever see a search list that's lengthy like this one, you have 3 options to get it narrowed down to usable results. First, you can think of how to narrow down your topic, like we did at the start, by focusing in on drought resistance. Think about what you really want to research and type in an additional search term in the second box. Second, you can look at the first few results on the page and notice what's listed after the word subject for each article. These are the subject headings used by the database to define topics. If, say, you wanted to focus on the pesticide application, which you see listed here, then just highlight that subject heading, copy it, and then paste it up into the second search box. When you copy and paste like this, it's not necessary to include quotation marks around phrases. Now you've hopefully got great articles. If you can't find subject headings that sound good to you, the third option you have for narrowing your results is to use this menu on the left of the screen to refine results. Go down until you see subject. You might have to click on the word subject to get the menu to open up. Then there will almost always be more subjects than what you see listed here, so click on Show More. In the box that pops up, read through it and select everything that sounds good to you. When you've made your selections, click Update, and then your list should be more manageable and should fit your topic well. One last thing. Let's say your topic was, what are the negative health effects of GMOs? Since that pertains to our health, you'll probably find more information in one of our medical databases. You can click on this link here to choose databases by subject. For most of your topics in horticulture agronomy classes, I think the best power search groups are the Earth Environment and the Life Sciences. But for a health-related research topic like the negative effects of GMOs, instead, select the Health Sciences Power Search. If you hover over the notepad, you can see all of the databases that this grouping will automatically search. Notice that Agricola is one of the databases included in the Health Sciences Power Search, so just selecting this one grouping should be enough. If your topic is something that businesses, including farmers and ranchers, would be concerned about, consider selecting the Business Economics Power Search. But if you do that, you'll also need to select one of the groupings that also includes Agricola, like the Earth Environment or the Life Sciences Power Searches. Okay, that's a quick run through of using the Agricola database in your research. For more information about how to save your articles, print them out, and how to get the citations for them, please watch our other videos, which you can access by clicking here to go to the library's How Do I page. On this page, you can hunt for the database you want to use, and you'll see the video tutorials we've created walking you through all of the steps. I think the videos 4.1, 4.2, and 5 would be most helpful to you to watch at this point. Also, please ask us in the library if you have any questions. Good luck with your research!